Hello YouTubers, and welcome to another installment of Dragon Age Inquisition with Charlie from Shuttry Games. Now, last time we talked to the one lady, I can't remember her name now, working on at the crossroads, and she told us that we need to talk to Corporal Vale, apparently. So we're going to loot this house quick, and then we're going to go find him and see what he needs to further advance the Inquisition. I suppose I won't wander around too much. Oh, stuff to loot though, it's always good. I think this is left over from the battle last night. Actually, there really is no progression of time in this game, so it's hard to say when that battle actually took place. The only time I've ever seen day or night is if you go to like small side quests. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and equip some stuff to my party. I'm hoping I've gotten something good enough that they'll actually be able to use it. Alright, that answers that question. Wide blade sword. The only thing I've got against all of these schematics is I have to go back to Haven to make them, and that becomes kind of a hassle later in the game when I'm in the middle of doing something and then I can't do it because I have to go back to Haven. It's not particularly difficult to get back to Haven, but it's still time consuming and takes you from wherever you are. So let's go talk to Corporal Vale about the Inquisition and see what he's got to say about it.
You're with the Inquisition. Corporal Vale, thanks for your help. The Majors and Templars don't seem to care who gets caught in their war. The refugees here are in dire need of help. If the war doesn't kill them, cold or starvation will.
What other problems do these refugees face?
We've got some injuries that go beyond stitches and elf fruit. I know healers are in short supply, but if you can find someone in Redcliffe to help us, it would save a lot of lives.
Now, Redcliffe is where the mages are. So it's interesting that he's asking for help.
Refugees starving.
Yes. Many of them brought food, but they expected to be home by now, or safe in a city. There's a hunter up the hill who had some ideas.
Is there anything we can do to help people deal with the cold?
I asked the Inquisition to send blankets. You'd think I was asking for a wagon of raw lyrium. A recruit named Whittle is trying to make what we can bring in last. If you have any ideas, talk to him across the road.
What can you tell me about the Templars?
All the Templars were called to Val Royeaux not long ago. These bastards ignored the order. Now they're killing rebel mages, along with any refugees they think are mage sympathizers. Every Templar I've ever known has wanted to protect the common folk. These men defile their order's good name.
What can you tell me about the rebel mages?
The real rebels are up north in Redcliffe, dug in and taking care of their own. The ones out here are just apostates, locked up in the circles all these years, and now they've gone mad with power. The rebels in Redcliffe have washed their hands of them. I wish we could do the same.
What can you tell me about the man who's supposed to be getting horses for the Inquisition?
Horsemaster Dennett. He lives on a farm to the west. Tough old fella. We haven't heard from him. Best we can tell, he's holed up until the Majors and Templars are done killing each other.
Farewell.
And you as well.
Alright, so in order to get power, I have to complete quests. Closing the Fade, or the Veil, yeah, Fade. And reaching larger areas with the Inquisition. So what they want me to do is to get more power. So in order to do that, I have to do other quests. And then I can unlock a new area so that I can progress the quest of the Inquisition further. So what I'm going to try to do is really work on getting through the main quest. I don't want to undo that. No, I don't think I can. Well, either way, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, I can take them off. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do Archer's Lance, which allows him to hit multiple people. He won't ever get first blood. Oh, okay, never mind. So it's the people who are lightly injured, and we'll give them death from above as well. With 3 points for Cassandra as well. Can't be flanked by enemies, that's a good thing. Shield Bash. And Ring the Bell. That sounds good to me. And Solace. I'm really a fan of his winter related stuff. I like that. You can increase your mana by standing still. We'll do Wall of Ice. Apply that. Alright, now that everybody's ready to go, let's go close some rifts. That's not a way through the mountain. So I know that my first instinct is to stop and get everything along the way, including all these exclamation points and whatnot. But for the sake of time and campaign, I guess, I'm going to do my best to ignore them and just stick to the main quest. Which is completely against my nature, so if I fail at that, you at least know why. Got some fighting going on over here. Spellbinder, Spell Sword, and a Templar Archer. I'm gonna blow him up. Boom. I'm gonna start killing the Rebel Spellbinder because he's pain in my ass. Now he's dead. Beat. Alright.
The fighting between the mages and the Templars has cost too many innocent lives.
That's cool. I've been debating whether or not to turn off friendly fire simply because I tend to blow up my companions or, you know, freeze them. That's all I needed to know. So I have been thinking about changing that whole situation, but I decided it's more realistic to keep it like this. And I found recently that I actually do tend to blow up my companions more often than the enemy does, so just something to keep in mind when you're using things like Explosive Shot and other stuff with area of effect. I was like, where the hell is it? I'm gonna go ahead and hide real quick. see a lot of rings that increase your ability duration or your ability damage. Not a lot of rings that decrease the time between uses. You can't reach that rift right now. Where in the world? How do I get higher? Okay, never mind. Alright, one down, one to go.
I hear reconstruction is progressing well in Kirkwall.
I know things are bad there.
I wasn't trying to...
You weren't trying to remind me how bad it is in Kirkwall.
Alright, so where's the other one? We're going to go ahead and travel back to the camp.
About its recovery.
What you're talking about are the buildings, and even that will take years. People don't recover so easily.
Alright, so that saved us quite a bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and kill this ram because I can probably use the leather later. If he drops any, that is. And he did, so we'll go ahead and loot that. This game does a good job of balancing the quality of your own crafted materials and the quality of items you find out in the wilderness. I find that a lot of the times I'm making items that are much better than what I'm using, and then not too long after that I will find something that's better than what I made, which is awesome. And I also very much enjoy that you can take grips, shafts, pommels, and the like from one weapon or armor and put it onto another. The only thing that does not apply to is runes. You put one on and it cannot come back off. So that kind of stinks. But aside from that, it's pretty nice that you can not only customize, but you can keep the beneficial parts of your older equipment and put it onto your newer equipment, which usually makes the newer equipment even better. So it's very nice. I enjoy the crafting system in this game. It makes more sense than, oh, you put this on and now it can never come off. Like, that never made any sense to me. So good job to BioWare for fixing that little discrepancy. Can't close it. There we go. Good. So if you haven't noticed, the Fade Rift actually has life, as you can see on the bar on the right hand corner. So you have to kill a certain amount of enemies before you can close it effectively. So if you disrupt it, then it won't spit out so many enemies. So it's kind of, it's important to know how to properly do that. I just came in here to steal stuff. I don't really want to talk to you. So. Bye. Alright. Now we need to do what? We need one more power before we can get to Val Royeaux. So suppose I can find some of the camps around here. It's really nice for later when I need to travel places. Because as you saw earlier, you can use camps as a fast travel point in the middle of areas. I didn't realize this until I had been quite a bit through this part on my other account and kind of felt like an idiot, but man, it was so much more convenient when I found out.
Excuse me, have you seen another?
Nope, never heard of a Ritz. Sorry. Unless you're talking about crackers, and I don't think you are. Alright, set up a camp. There we go. The last of the power that I need. So we're going to pop back to Haven. Alright. Back at Haven. Alright, so we're back at Haven. I went and did some upgrading and some
We've got scattered reports of
weapon creation real quick and before I head off to Val Royeaux. Gave Cassandra a brand new mace that I made for her. Gave Solus a piece of equipment, and that was about it.
Your kind killed the most holy. Lies. Your kind let her die. Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean, exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you.
Well, excuse me, I didn't mean to walk in on your dick biting competition.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave?
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
I really want to be snarky.
If the proper authority hadn't completely failed, the Conclave wouldn't have been needed.
So you suggest I blame the Chantry and exalt a murderer? What of justice?
That won't help restore order in the here and now.
Order will never be restored so long as this rebellion is allowed to fester.
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
I can't wait to deal with more assholes.
How widespread is the violence between mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
The mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
So instead of me doing something productive to try to close the rifts, you want me to sit around in a jail cell, probably, until you decide to pull your heads out of your asses and pick a new divine. That could be years.
I'll make sure they see reason in Val Royeaux.
I pray you're right.
Alright, so let's take a trip to Val Royeaux.
Apothecary Adon will have more
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if she can't prove it was founded on Justinia's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Mistress Lavelan, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denerim, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend this use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Thank you, ridiculous.
Demons are pouring from the sky, and you're worried about land claims.
Haven is the Durelion's rightful property.
Has Empress Selene officially acknowledged your possession of Haven? I was unaware Her Imperial Majesty had conferred with Ferelden's monarchs on this matter.
The Empress has not yet had the opportunity to do so.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Do the Durelions actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the Durelions are Orlesian. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased the Marquis isn't tossing us out into the cold.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries we must contend with.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
I don't care to ask her about her background right now. These politics are ridiculous, indeed.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montillier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
I came in here to turn in research, but I don't think I have
If you
anything.
find
So,
anything, please bring it in.
off to Dalrail.
Only the word. Chancellor Roderick
I'll
came
check
to
some
speak.
reports.
Could you try not to antagonize him?
If I offend the man
I'm
so
thinking
easily,
for-
perhaps he should try leaving me alone.
Attending this. Gave me a sword. He's quite pleased with what I did, so 126 gold. And Clan Lavellan is very happy to hear that I am doing well, so they sent 10 Blood Lotus. Alright, so I can scout this. Being this is Varric, I feel like it might be best to send Liliana and their spies to do that. All of these require quite a bit of power. Maybe gather coin. Going to send Cullen to protect some
Alright.
trade. And we're gonna head over to Orlais. And go to Val Royale.
Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask her.
Yeah.
What can they do? It's just talk. Don't underestimate the power of their words. An angry mob will do you in just as quickly as a blade.
I will go with her. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through. The city still mourns.
Just a guess, Seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald!
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then.
Alright, so we made it to Val Royale without too much problem. Let's see what this soldier has to say.
You think the Order's returned to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred.
We're doing all this to get help with the breach. Maybe this is our chance to get the Templars on our side.
Perhaps. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
Alright, so anyway, as I was saying, made it to Val Royale. We will go and see what the Chantry has to say next time. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please share with your friends, like on the bottom, subscribe if you'd like, and leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing and what you'd like to see in the future. This has been Charlie with Shuttry Games, and I'll hope to see you guys in the next installment. Take care now. Bye-bye then.